Ողջույն հարգելի լրատվամիջոցներ, եթերում կրկին Hollywood 101 հեռուստահաղորդաշարն է։ Հաղորդաշար, որի միջոցով կծանոթանաք հոլիվուդյան շոու բիզնեսի եւ միջազգային շոու բիզնեսի մասին։ Մեր հյուրերը կլինեն հոլիվուդյան ագենտներ, մենեջերներ, պրոդյուսերներ, որոնք կկիսվեն իրենց փորձով եւ իրենց խորհուրդներով մեր հեռուստադիտողի հետ։ Եվ միջև ներկայացնեմ մեր հյուրին մեկ հայտարարություն, որ վաճառում է գիշերային ակումբ 48 լայսզով եւ իհարկե մեր գլխավոր հովանավորն է Hollywood Hair Studio-ն։ Եվ այսպիսով մեր այսօրվա հարգարժան հյուրն է Tessie Taylor, President National Association of Recording Industry Professionals. Hello, Tessie.
Hi, Artak.
How are you?
Very good, thank you. Your English is much better than my Armenian.
Very good. Soon you start to speaking Armenian too.
Hopefully, yes.
Tessie, I just introduced our viewers who you are, and before we start to talk about association, I want you to introduce yourself to our viewers, how you start your career, and a little bit about your past.
Okay.
How you involved to the entertainment business, especially music business.
Okay, very good. Well, I started as a classical pianist, and I still play a little bit, but I decided, after attending the University of Vienna in Austria and getting my degree, that I would rather work in the business than perform for a living. I love to perform, but I don't want to have to earn money performing. I would rather be on the business side. So that's exactly what I did. And I got my first job in radio, actually, when I was living in Vienna and a university student.
I'm sorry, what's your real background? Like European?
My mother's Austrian and my father's American.
Okay.
So I'm half and half, but I won't tell you which half. And so I got to live and study in Europe a lot, which was really, really wonderful, especially for music, because so much wonderful music comes from Austria.
Classical.
Classical, as we know. So that was my background. I decided to get into the business right out of college, which is exactly what I did. I got a job at the largest concert promoter in Southern California at the time. They were Avalon Attractions, and that was a lot of fun. I was going to many, many concerts of the biggest acts at the time, Aerosmith, U2, tiny little acts, developing acts. It was a lot of fun. And I was meeting many, many people in the business, because when you put on a concert, every spoke of the music industry wheel comes together. When you produce a concert, you have the concert promoter, you have the artist manager, you have the record company, you have radio, you have TV, you have the press, you have everybody. And they all want tickets when you're the promoter. It's great. So even though I was a little guy, you know, it was my first job at this company, it was a fantastic experience and a lot of fun and an opportunity to meet tons and tons of really good people. But what I thought would be better for me was if I could develop professional relationships with these people. So I talked to them on the phone every day. How about if we meet? You know, now that we've met, you know, our relationship has gone to a new level, and this is what professional networking and relationship building is all about. So I looked for an organization to join, and there wasn't one, so I started one. I didn't think it would become what it is today, but I just phoned up some people and said, hi, we're going to meet at such and such restaurant, club next week, come on down. So at our first meeting, there might have been 3 people, maybe 4. But then we did it again, and people wanted to know, well, when's the next one? When's the next one? Today, many years later, I reach over 85,000 people.
Wow, a member of association?
Well, not all members. I mean, if they were paying members, that would be great, but member subscribers.
85,000 network connection in entertainment business?
Yes. Well, now, keep in mind that people who subscribe are not necessarily all in the business. Some of them merely have an interest in it. But we have a huge and very strong membership base and a network of people who work in the business. And that's what makes running this organization so much fun. We're growing, we're establishing new chapters. We're based here in Los Angeles, which is the entertainment capital of the world.
Exactly.
And we have chapters in New York. Let me see if I can remember them all. San Francisco, Las Vegas, Phoenix, Houston, Philadelphia, London, and we're launching a few more chapters this year, and we're looking to set up chapters in Europe and around the world wherever people have an interest in doing this.
It some kind of looks like a SAG member, like union.
Yes, very much like that. We're not a union, but we're very much like that. We advocate for our members, and we promote career advancement, goodwill, and education among record industry professionals. So someone like you, we would want to make sure that we introduce you to people who can help you to promote your television show, to get you special guests. There are other people whom I know, we spoke about this right before we went on the air, that I would love to introduce you to some people who you should have as guests here too.
Yes, and how they can enjoy your association member, and who there have to be, producer, composer, or singers, young artists? How this work?
Well, for the most part, we like people to be working in the business. But the truth is that if you're an artist today, you are a business, or you should be a business. You are probably doing a lot of your own marketing. If you're not very successful yet, you're probably having to manage your own career because you don't have a manager yet. So we welcome people who have an interest in being professional in the business, and people can find out more about that at www.narup.com.
Yeah, Hargil Versatitoğner website. We just put your website over there.
Excellent. And people can ask for information or read about us online. We're very interested in reaching different parts of the world. This is why I love Griff O'Neill so much.
He's amazing, man.
Who introduced us, because he reaches so many corners of the world.
Yeah, we just meet so many times, but not realize we can come together
right.
and do something.
Right. And I think that, art is one of the greatest inventions of mankind because it brings people together. You find out that art can, it can narrow the gaps between people.
Between cultures too.
Between cultures. Everybody wants to work hard and be recognized. It doesn't matter if you're Armenian or American or Chinese or Muslim or Catholic or Jewish. It doesn't matter. People want to have opportunity and to have a form of expression like music, which to me is the most wonderful invention of mankind. It enables people to give expression to their ideas, and it enables us to relate to each other, even if we may not speak the same language, because music is a language. And I think it's a very important cultural phenomenon, and it's very important to bring Armenian music here to the U.S., and it's equally important, I think, to take U.S. music to Armenia and have people share.
In the future, by the way, after 2-3 weeks, we're waiting some young violin player from Ireland.
Okay.
She said to come here, and we inviting Armenian musician. And live, we're trying to make some how they can cooperate.
That's
different
fabulous.
Nationality and different instruments.
That's
Let's
fabulous.
See how it work.
That's fabulous. That kind of collaboration is excellent. It's excellent.
And still, we didn't finish the about how they can enjoy your become a member.
Well, people can look at the website now. If you're talking about people who live in Armenia right now, there's not a whole lot we could do for them in Armenia, obviously, because we have no presence there. But for people who are interested in coming to Los Angeles or New York and to other areas where we have chapters, we can introduce them to professionals.
We have a large community in
exactly.
Europe.
We have a growing community in Europe. I'm going to be in Europe later this year. I will be in Sweden and Austria and in England.
The same television station we have in France.
Wow.
Yeah, so
excellent.
For all West European
excellent.
Armenian community.
So people can contact us, but mostly what we do is we put people in touch with other people. We help them to develop their careers. If they're looking for a manager, that's a little bit hard because an artist has to have a level of success before usually a manager is interested. But what I would like you to come to is a brunch that we're having in a week from Saturday, a week from tomorrow, on April 17th here in Los Angeles. We have these once a month, and we have tons of music business professionals come every month. At our last brunch, an artist met a manager who signed them.
Wow.
So now this group has a manager, a very good manager actually.
What do you think, like you professional, what's your advice for first young artists? They need a first agent or they need a manager?
They need
how they can start?
They have to be absolutely brilliant, okay? They have to focus more on their craft and their songs and their performance than on getting an agent and a manager, because if they're good enough, and that means really exceptional, the manager and the agent will find them.
Maybe they have a really good talent, but they don't know how they start. Which music better for them? Pop, rock, or
well, I think
which more direction? How
the first thing about being an artist is to find your own direction. And you can certainly get help from professionals, people like Griff O'Neill, who can say, look, you've got a great voice for pop, but I would stay away from this other genre.
Yes.
You know, you don't want to be the gravelly rock girl or boy. You're more pop. But a great artist can transcend those boundaries. I think the most important thing is for an artist to find his own voice. The world does not need any more bad music. Okay, there's plenty of that. Create something truly exceptional. That takes time, that takes effort. And if you're interested in just being famous and getting invited to lots of parties and making a ton of money, there's easier ways to do that than in the music business. You know, go to law school or do something else that has a very specific track you can follow. To get rich and famous in the pop music world or in music in general, it's not impossible, but it's very difficult, and you have to have a unique voice. You have to have something that people want to hear. You have to say something that people want to hear, not, oh, baby, baby, I love you, I love you. It's not, that's boring.
Yes.
Do we need another one of those kinds of songs? No. So the artist should find his voice. Now, what we can do is we can help introduce artists to different people who specialize in artist development.
They have to be a member of association?
No, they don't. But
They
if they want us to make personal introductions, they do. But they can
okay.
come to our events. They don't have to be a member. I mean, we really want to help people, and what we do is we make those professional connections possible. And so an artist who's maybe trying to find his way can create these professional relationships with people who can help to guide him. You know, there's people who you can either hire, or maybe because they like your material and you become friendly with them, they'll give you some free advice and take you with them to meetings or parties or whatever. And when you're in Los Angeles, the guy you're sitting next to at the restaurant could be someone who could have a huge impact on your career.
What do you think about competition? How that's important artist be in a competition? For this point, it's like a World Championships of Performing Arts. I know you've been there like judge, and what you see there and what usually artists can get from participating in World Championships.
In any field, whether you're a computer technician or an artist or a plumber, you have to set yourself apart if you want people to hire you or to buy your music or to help you make a living. Okay, so competition, I think, is good if you can get the attention of the judges. If they like what you're doing, even if you don't win, you can very frequently make good connections with people. Think about how wonderful it is to know Griff O'Neill.
Oh, that's amazing.
Okay.
Griff O'Neill, more than 50
Griff
countries
O'Neill
connection.
and the World Championships of Performing Arts is a wonderful man to know, because in his little black book of names and addresses, he knows every agent, theatrical, film, music you can think of. And he's the kind of guy who can listen to the material and say, look, you're not quite ready for the big time yet, but I suggest that you talk to this guy over here.
Exactly, that's what he's doing.
And that is what we do too, but we're very focused on music.
Yes.
You know, Griff has a broader focus, but it's very, very good. So I think to compete is good, as long as the young people don't get upset if they lose.
That's the whole point. I'm trying to bring this up because we have so many Armenians that are coming to participate in World Championships of Performing Arts, present their talent, and they meet judges and represent our countries. But same time, when they lose from first round, second, or they're thinking when they're being in competition, they're signing a contract.
No.
All these dreams. What's your advice? That's contract that's more important, or better you make a more connection there?
It's important to make connections, and it's important to, this is part of finding your voice. You'll get feedback from people. Some feedback is not very good, and some feedback you can say, yeah, that has some basis in reality.
They can have some kind of experience and see what they're doing, and then go train again.
There are people who can help to create an excellent stage performance. For example, if you have wonderful material but you're really boring on stage, it doesn't work. You have to be an entertainer if that's what you want to be. You can't just stand there. I mean, that doesn't hold people's attention. Okay? So it's about finding your voice and being authentic and connecting with people like you are, Talk, who can help to provide a platform.
That's the Hollywood 101 TV show, all about that. This help the young artists how they start their career, and bring managers, composers, their advice. Do you have any connection for good vocal coaches?
Absolutely. Are you trying to find good vocal coaches?
We are trying because we have some people they're looking for vocal coaches. I spoke with them like 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And if they contact straight to you, or I mean, go to website.
Please have them email me and just say they were referred by Artak.
Okay.
Say Artak sent me. There's a couple of wonderful people in town. There's Jan Linder Koda, who's a producer and a songwriter. There's Stephen Memel. There's a few really good vocal coaches, and they're wonderful. But it's important as an artist to continue to improve. You're never going to be perfect, probably. You always have to work on your craft.
I mean, admission this in Armenian. Հարգելի հեռուստադիտողներ, եթե ցանկանում եք եւ ունեք ցանկություն գտնելու իսկական հոյակապ ամերիկյան ոճի միջի այդ վոկալի մասնագետներ, վոկալ coach ձայնի համար, կարող եք ուղարկի գնալ վեբսայթը, որը տեսնում եք պաստառի վրա, եւ վեբսայթի միջոցով կգտնեք email հասցեն, ասեք ուղարկի, որ Արտակի կողմից եւ կկապնվեք test teller-ի հետ, իսկ նա ձեզ կօգնի գտնել լավագույն վոկալի մասնագետին ձեր իսկ կարիերայի համար. Just I explain them.
Excellent. Go through our talk, and I will. I'll help anyone I can who you send.
Yeah, thank you so much. And my other question, I see here. Before my other question, I have a yes, exactly. I have a question.
Before your question, you have a question.
Exactly. Where you cut your hair?
Probably at the Hollywood studio next, right?
Okay, we have a gift certificate.
Thank you.
$25 gift certificate from our general sponsor, Hollywood Hair Studio, which in Hollywood Boulevard, 5300 Hollywood Boulevard. So
that's fabulous. I'm going there because I do need a haircut. Thank you very much.
Not only haircut, maybe whatever you need.
Thank you.
Հարգելի հեռուստադիտողներ, եւս մեկ անգամ շնորհակալություն Գարիկ եւ Հայկուշ Շխրդումյաններին ծրագիրը հովանավորելու համար եւ իհարկե նորից հիշեցնեմ, որ վաճառվում է գիշերային ակումբ 48 արկավոր լայսենսով, եթե ցանկություն ունեք ձեռք բերել գիշերային ակումբ, դուք պետք է առաջերտին ձեռք բերեք լայսենսը, որը Կալիֆոռնիան 10-րդ ծավել չի տալիս, բայց այսօր կա հնարավորություն ձեռք բերելու այդ գիշերային ակումբի լայսենսը։ Այսքանը հայտարարությունների մասին եւ այսպիսով իմ հաջորդ հարցը մենք գնանք. I just read your biography. And how many years already the association you created?
NARUP, the National Association of Record Industry Professionals, was formed in 1998. So we're 12 years old now.
12 years old. And what make you the create? Just only for keep a connection, or how you come to the idea?
Well,
we talk about that, I know, but I want we go a little more details.
Well, it happened very naturally and very organically. I didn't think, oh, I'm going to start a business and it's going to do this. It happened because I was just doing something that I enjoyed. I was doing something that was necessary for my career. I was trying to figure out how to meet people, and it worked really well. And then I started to sell memberships, and now I have a business.
Yeah, business and same job, job whatever you want to do.
Well, I love it. It's the best of all possible worlds, and I think this is what people need to know, that living in the world today, you have the possibility to actually make a living doing something that you love. If you have focus and you're persistent and you create realistic goals for yourself, you can make a living in the United States as a singer, songwriter, performer. It may not be easy, but you can do it if you really apply yourself. Now, I don't know what the economic situation is in Armenia for artists. I know in South America it's very difficult because of all the piracy. Each region has its own challenges, and we are affected very much by piracy here too in the United States. But you can do it. You can do it, and it requires focus, a lot of talent and ambition.
So, like a professional, what do you think? For artists, this first they have to find a songwriter, or they have to find an agent, or and was a different agent and manager?
Well, first I would.
I know, and I know a lot of people know that. But I want, like, from
I
your
will explain
profession.
it all to you. First, you have to think about whether you're going to perform and write your own material or not. Now, in the Western world, the guy who writes the songs has a lot of power. Money is in publishing, okay? And the money is in songwriting. Now, if you're just a performer, then you're at the mercy of songwriters to provide you with good material. So I recommend to people that they try to write their own material, and maybe they're not absolutely great, but they can improve and they can collaborate with other songwriters who are better. So I recommend to any artist who is trying to make his way in performance in music to give a shot at writing his own material. Okay? That's number one. Now, number two, the difference between the agent and the manager is the agent is the person who goes out and gets you gigs. They get you performance opportunities. That's specifically what agents do. They get you, if you're in film, they get you roles in a movie, okay? They try to, they solicit to get you business, to get you performance opportunities. The manager is a guy who has a much broader role. He's looking at the long-term strategy of your career and saying, okay, in 5 years we're going to be trying to do this, but right now the marketing plan is this. Okay, we're trying to build your career up one level at a time. We're going to start, say, in Los Angeles or in the Midwest or in Armenia, and we're going to tour 14 little places within a 40-mile radius. And then next summer, we're going to hit Europe, and we're going to hit 40 towns.
Just making plans for step
Making
by step.
plans. A manager is a guy who helps to make and execute the plans. Now, the manager and the agent work well together, or they should work well together. And frequently, a manager can, in part, fill the role of the agent, although when an artist's career is big enough, it usually requires both the manager and the agent.
And what's the estimating the price for publish any CD, any artist? What the minimum budget artist need or manager for make a publishing?
For an artist to make a CD?
Yes.
Well, if you want to produce a high quality, let's say a 10-track CD, it can be a very small price. I mean, you can do that for next to nothing because there's so many people with pretty professional recording studio.
For publishing, not only for record. I have a record, like said.
Okay.
I have 10 songs, and I want to publish. I want people to know about this.
Well,
CD, how this works.
You go and you get a publisher, all right? But again, that's not so easy because a publisher has to say, Artak, I love your music. Can I sign you? Okay?
Okay.
You don't just send your music to someone and they publish you. They have to think and believe that they can take your music to the marketplace and sell it and make money. And if they're not sure that they can do that, they're not interested.
So you need a publishing company, but if you want to do yourself, you produce and
You can
publish?
self-publish. You can self-publish. Now, there are lots of books on the topic that can be helpful to people, and it depends on whether they're in Armenia or America or Europe, because I don't know exactly what the copyright laws are in Armenia. But here in the United States, you can self-publish. You can file copyrights yourself with the,
I done that, and I'm sure հարգելի հերթադիտողներ, ուրեմն ստեղ միայն լավագույն հնարավորություններն են միասնանալն են, որ ամեն ինչ օրինական է եւ օրենքով կարող եք դուք ինքներդ copyright անել ձեր բոլոր ձայնագրությունները եւ իհարկե ինչ որ պետք է արվեստի հետ վերաբերյալ կարող եք ապահովել. I just translated
well
quickly.
Done.
Yeah, and we have to say bye now.
Oh no!
Yeah, just 25 minutes. They just let me know we done. Հարգելի հեռուստադիտողներ, շնորհակալություն, որ դիտում եք մեզ եւ իհարկե շնորհակալություն մեր այսօրվա հյուրին, կհանդիպենք հաջորդ շաբաթ։ Ստեսություն ձեզ, ձեզ հետ է Արտակ Բաղդասյանը. You can say bye.
Thank you very much for tuning in, and if you have any questions or need information, please check our website at www.narup.com. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope to see you at some of our upcoming events.
Sure.
Okay?
No problem. Հաջողություն։ Նախանա եւ օրենքով կարող եք դուք ինքներդ copyright անել ձեր բոլոր ձայնագրությունները եւ իհարկե ինչ որ պետք է արվեստի հետ վերաբերյալ կարող եք ապահովել։ I just translated
Well
quickly.
done.
Yeah, and we have to say bye now.
Oh no!
Yeah, just 25 minutes there, just let me know we
Okay.
done. Հարգելի լսադիտողներ, շնորհակալություն, որ դիտում եք մեզ եւ իհարկե շնորհակալություն մեր այսօրվա հյուրին, կհանդիպենք հաջորդ շաբաթ։ Ստեսություն ձեզ, ձեզ հետ է Արտակ Բաղդասյանը։